Hi, welcome to the program. Today we're going to meet a young entrepreneur who set his sights on expanding his business and his product range, not only in Australia, but overseas. Vish Pon Vulo Command?
For checks, please. Thank you.
He knew what I meant. That is, can I take your order in French? Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I shouldn't give up my day job. David Beton, how are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Tell us about Beton.
We got an amazing, successful little coffee shop selling a great gourmet range of products, jams like a strawberry and vanilla jam, chutney, dressing and oils. We're selling all around the country and overseas.
Okay, so you've really extended the bricks and mortar business into premium quality products that you distribute right around Australia.
Indeed, yes.
Okay, so David, what are your challenges?
Challenge is to break the overseas market is not that hard. It's to stay there and to get a repeat order. Creating a relationship, that's the challenges.
Okay, so you've broken into those overseas markets, but you need to build to get to critical mass. And what about your local business? You're happy to run it still out of here?
Well, I think the next step will be to expand Beton and open maybe 3 or 4 more stores in New South Wales and then in every state. That would be a logical next step.
Gee, you've got big plans. Yes. That's fantastic. Look, we have some great contacts at Austrade, which I think you'll really benefit from, and also maybe hook you up with some of their gourmet food clients that have done this before. You could probably learn a lot. And also Kevin Moore will bring you an interesting angle from a retail point of view. He's our retail guru, and if anyone can pick a business to expand interstate and within Sydney, he can. So we'll put you in touch. You happy with that?
I'm looking forward to it.
Beauty. All right. Let me get your order.
Thank you.
Oui, oui, au revoir.
Au revoir.
David is keen to grow the export sales of his Beton gourmet food range. Gordon Slater, chairman of Export Award winner Byron Bay Cookies, and our trade guru from Austrade, Tim Harcourt, have joined David for coffee to share their secrets to export success.
David, you're about to undertake an amazing growth story, and Gordon, you've got quite a story to tell yourself, don't you?
Yeah, in looking at growth and looking at export, the reason that we started off was that we were very big in Australia, and we knew that we had a product that was doing very well, and we were a market leader in our category in jars in cafes. And then going to London at one stage, we realised that there wasn't any cookies and jars in the London market, and so we had this wonderful opportunity which we knew would expire because the UK cafe market was really taking off. So that's when we started off in London, and we started off by taking our product along and saying, you know, this is a product which we think you'll be able to sell for about £2, and them not believing us. So we then had to set up our own distribution network and our own sales force in London, which was very expensive, to prove to people that you could sell it. And then, of course, as it took off in central London, it sort of moved very quickly out into the periphery. And then we then started to bolt in our other products. So we started to go to all the different flavour ranges, so we had like 20 flavours, and try to test out which ones worked. And then we managed to get into Harvey Nicks and so forth. So that's what I think is, you know, when you're looking at what you're going to do, is to figure out which product is the one that you think will be the one that'll crack the nut for you, and then to bring in everything else behind it. And the jam you were saying is one of the ones that you think might do it for you.
That's something actually probably getting into the cafe market with the bulk jar, you know, like a strawberry and vanilla jam, create a demand and then suddenly have the jar available. Yeah. That's a good idea.
And you've got, also when you think about what things that you have available that might, from a point of sale perspective, and also telling the story, because whenever you sell something, you need that emotion behind it. And massive corporations spend millions of dollars every year trying to create that story, whether that product's going to add life or whatever it is. And you're not going to have that ability, but you've got a book, which I think the book is another wonderful thing, you know, that the book does leap out. And the great thing that you've done in that, and I think that this is important, particularly when you're small, is to make sure that all of your point of sale and all your labels all link in. So you're instantly recognisable, so you make the most of it.
After the break, the challenge of breaking into export markets.
The average time for a business to be successful in exporting, it's, you know, between 5 and 10 years.
This business travel tip is brought to you by Qantas. Airport lounges are a great way to catch up on emails to ensure home time is exactly that, not work time. Chef and gourmet food producer David Koch is keen to grow his export sales, and he's getting insight from Austrade's chief economist Tim Harcourt and successful gourmet biscuit producer and exporter Gordon Slater from Byron Bay Cookies.
We were great exporters from Australia for many years, and we were flying the product there, and we could get it there pretty quick because, as you say, with no preservatives, just like the Baton range of products. And that became an issue with flying. It was okay when we were getting $3 to the pound, but when the Australian dollar did very well in recent times, and also with the Europeans getting very much focused on ecology and food miles, they started to delete us from some of their major stores. So we had to make a decision to produce locally. And that's a big step, and we had a lot of expense involved in that because we had to send our quality control people. It's great that you're a chef because you'd be over there and you'd be able to check them out. And also you have to be very careful of your IP because you don't want them to be able to copy it. And with the flavours that you've got, they're all very distinctive and there's nothing else like them on the market, and you've got to protect that point.
Have you thought of getting assistance like export market development grants from Austrade or anything similar? Because when you're starting off, you can get help.
Tim's got his checkbook here from Australia.
In fact, what do you want?
We have used export grant. I think it's called
EMDG. That's right.
EMDG.
That's right.
And we use it for the US with the Fancy Food Show, and we use it in the UK.
Yeah.
And it's been great. Unfortunately, again, one of the challenges we face when we deal with these big companies like Selfridges is they change buyers every 6 months. So you have to build a new relationship every time. And if you don't have any presence on the ground, how do you do it?
Yeah, so it makes a big difference there, but it takes time. I mean, your business is 10 years old.
Yes.
The average time for a business to be successful in exporting, it's between 5 and 10 years. It takes time.
And a lot of money involved. I mean, I don't know if Gordon, you can tell us with your export, but I'm sure it will cost a lot of money to be serious about your export market.
It does, and you look at the model, and I think that's why. What Tim's saying is exactly right. There's a number of years of investment. It's not an instant thing. So in your local market, you can make money pretty well straight away. But in an export market, you have to have a time horizon that you say, we're going to invest into this market. And I would think that when we look at our European and our UK business, we weren't making money for about 5 years. So we invested a lot, and it's a painful process when it's you got your house on the line, and you're working twice as hard as what you ever, and you think, is there going to be any end in sight? And of course there is, but it's a matter of keeping the faith and learning very quickly. You need to be on your toes the whole time. And I think you need to have a bit of mongrel about you. You have to have that kind of grit determination to keep going. Yep.
So it's a real marathon, not a sprint, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. It's it's look, in some ways it's the passion that keeps you going.
This business building block is brought to you by Westpac.
Could your business run without you working in it? Do you have a clear exit plan? Is your business building you wealth? If not, it's time for you to consider planning for the future. Business and succession planning are fundamental tools to keep the focus on what's important in the business. Clearly identify what success looks like and the steps necessary to achieve it. But how do you build effective business and succession plans? One way is to attend a Westpac Financial Education Business and Succession Planning short course. You'll learn useful tips and techniques that will give you the confidence to develop targeted plans and help you tackle the day-to-day issues while at the same time focusing on your long-term strategies. Westpac Financial Education short courses are available to all business owners, so sign up and plan for your business's successful future.
To find out more about Westpac's business and succession planning short course, go to westpac.com.au/businessbuilders. After the break, we focus on Beaton's other business challenge, growing the business into more cafe locations.
How can I multiply this kind of concept without franchising or without, grow too quickly and then make the mistake?
This competition is brought to you by Qantas. Qantas is celebrating small business with an amazing opportunity. Every week, one business could win $1,000 worth of Qantas flights to use for business travel. How do you enter? Easy. Go to qantas.com/SME and tell us in 25 words or less how Qantas can help manage your business travel. David Beaton is keen to expand his cafe and store business into new locations. But as the face of Beaton, how does he recreate the personality of his first store? I've sent in our retail and branding expert, Kevin Moore, Chief Executive of Crossmark, to help David with his growth challenges.
What do you think are the challenges? What are the things that are keeping you awake going forward?
I think it's to take it to another level and how can I multiply. I realize that I've got a gold mine here in a sense of it's a very successful business. How can I multiply this kind of concept without franchising or without, grow too quickly and then make the mistake. I don't want to do mistake.
And without losing control.
And without losing control,
Okay.
yeah.
And being cognizant of that, understanding that's a part of it is important. If I look at it, it's almost like there's a triangle here. At the top of the triangle, and if it embarrasses you, I'm sorry. You are the brand.
Yes.
In everything, you are the brand. That then cascades down one side of the pyramid into the product. So all your produce, everything that you're doing is absolutely right. It's of its time. The second part of it is bringing all of your expertise as a French chef and bringing it to coffee shops and into catering and being able to do that in more places. You're at the top of it, and in the middle there's this circle, and this circle is about a combination of money and support for you. How do you feel about funding and about business partners and about bringing more senior management, and that's all the motive parts of growing a business?
I think I need to bring someone with expertise that's going to bring something to the business. As much as I'm a leader, I'm the face of Beaton, but I don't think you can't have the expertise in every aspect of the business. So I think we need someone not only that's going to bring money, but also bring some expertise in and I think we lack expertise in retails. I think that's very important because one day I will get a phone call that someone wants to buy the brand, and I'm waiting for this phone call.
We only get to sell a business once in our life.
Yes.
We only get to do it once. Often in the fastest growth phase, we sell it, and a lot of the value that we sell at that point is down the line, and we miss out on that value. And sometimes it's having the patience and being circumspect and saying, I'm going to just wait a little bit longer to find the right point.
So do you think, Kevin, that we should get a partner with money, or do you think I should get the money and do it myself with some advisor or some mentor, or what's your thought on that?
There'll come a point where you will either have to buy in a highly paid person who has skill sets that you don't have.
Okay.
Or you can sell some equity in the business, you can sell a share of the business to somebody who wants to back themselves, who wants to be part of a successful structure. Never give away equity. It's too powerful, it's too hard earned. You've created all that value. People can't see the value, they can't touch it, but it's there. So one of the best things you can do is to sell a percentage of the business to somebody who has all those attributes. They say to make money you need two things. You need good people and you need money. You make money with making good people with money. So you can get the money, but what you need is more good people around you to keep the business growing.
This technology building block is brought to you by Telstra Business.
Would you like to improve your productivity when you're out of the office? If so, this device could be perfect for your business. It's the new Telstra Ultimate device, which will allow you to get more done faster, and are already available to around 50% of the population. Even if you travel outside these areas, you can still access Telstra's NextG network at up to 8 megabits per second, which is still faster than any Telstra competitor. You can get a Telstra Ultimate device for $0 up front when you sign up to a $49 per month plan for 24 months. It includes a generous 7 gigabytes of data. So next GeForce your business on Australia's fastest national mobile broadband network with Telstra NextG and the Telstra Ultimate device.
To find out how your business could benefit by using a Telstra Ultimate device on the Telstra NextG network, visit telstra.com/business. After the break, we meet another business experiencing growth challenges, a vet whose business is bursting at the seams and thinks it's time to move.
Make sure you're squeezing every dollar possible out of the existing site before you sort of upscale into a new thing.
This segment is brought to you by Westpac. New Lambton Veterinary Clinic is another business experiencing growth challenges. Owner Fiona Wallace is meeting her Westpac local business banker, Brendan Trummell, and Sinclair Taylor, head of Westpac Financial Education, for some guidance.
Fiona, a lot of business owners grapple with when is the right time to move, because often moving premises involves either taking on additional debt, or if you're renting a premises, moving into a larger premises, presumably with a larger rental expense. And working through some of those numbers with your local business banker is a great way to decide, is it the right thing to do? I really implore business owners to think about, be bursting at the seams in one place before you move into the larger operation, and make sure you're squeezing every dollar possible out of the existing site before you sort of upscale into a new thing.
Fortunately, we've been working together for quite some time now, which has given me great insight into your business and how it operates. So we're well positioned for when you do actually find a premises that you think you want to move into, that we can sit down, go through the numbers and see if it's a viable option for you.
Fantastic.
So Fiona, are there any other drivers around wanting to grow the business?
Well, I'd like to grow the business so that in the future I could start to step back and cut down the number of hours that I do. How do I go about doing that?
You need a plan to make all of this happen, and it's going to be hard to step back initially, because if you're going to go into a growth phase, you very much need to be driving that as the owner. But the longer term goal, by the sounds of it, is to spend less time in the business and maybe looking at building the asset base and the value of the business so that you can fund your retirement or sell the business to somebody else. And the bank is here to assist you in preparing a plan, and from a financial education point of view, we run planning short courses which are available nationally to help you step through some of those planning challenges, but also to use your local business banker to map out what the plan might be and how you're going to fund the growth within the business.
As well as the financial education courses that Westpac run, in my role I've also got access to other specialists within the bank, such as financial planners, that would be happy to sit down with you and work through with you with your long-term plans and goals.
It's really nice to know that there's advice on the doorstep.
Absolutely, and this is about helping you make a confident financial decision and actually empowering you by giving you some assistance to make a better decision within your business, by actually getting you to understand some of the numbers and feel confident that you are making the right move if you're going to take on additional people or move to a larger premises.
To find out more about Westpac's business and succession planning short course, go to westpac.com.au/businessbuilders. David, that is excellent coffee. Now, how'd our experts go? First up, Gordon and Tim, what are you going to do with their advice?
I'm going to go to Europe in March, have a look at some facilities to manufacture maybe the product in Europe, so it would be easy to distribute, I think.
That was a really interesting piece of information, wasn't it? Sort of the change in the thought process of the Europeans, that the further away it is, the scared they are of it.
Indeed. So I always thought that made in Australia was quite a unique selling point. Yeah. But now they're cautious about the mileage, and they rather buy something that is made around than 25 hours in a plane, I guess.
And I love the way how you have really used Austrade over the years, because they're a great organisation that most businesses just don't know what they do or how they can help.
They've been excellent. A lot of people think it's a lot of paperwork. So they get scared and they don't want to go close. It's actually easy. It's just a matter to pick your market you want to be in, and these people does the work for you.
Yeah, and they work for us. We pay for them. We might as well use them.
Let's use them,
and they have great services.
Yep.
Now, Kevin's advice in terms of expanding Beaton and different cafes, Sydney, interstate, what are you going to do with that?
There's a couple of key decisions to be made there. Kevin, funny enough, loves the concept of Beaton. We are a cafe that we do it things extremely well. We've been in the industry for 20 years. We know how it works. We've got a brand of product, which is jams and chutney and dressing. Now what we need is maybe a partner to come in and bring his expertise in retail, in chain of distribution. And I think that's where we lack a bit of expertise here. So I think probably get someone to come in.
How do you feel about that?
It does hurt, but I think if we want to take it to the next level, it's a logical next step.
Well, it's got amazing potential. It's a very exciting business. Congratulations.
Thank you, David.
And hope we were able to help. So
You did, indeed.
We'll keep tabs on you.
Thank you.
Come back for more coffees.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we have time for today's program. If you want any more information about today's episode and a lot of the extra tips that we couldn't put into the show, go to the website. They're all there, and also information about previous episodes of the show as well. And while you're there, enter our competition. You could win $1,000 in free flights courtesy of Qantas for your business. I'll catch you next time. Next week, recovering from a tragedy and why it's so important to get the business foundations right. And don't forget to go to the website yahoo7.com.au/smallbusiness for loads of interesting articles, video tips from our experts, and to register for our regular newsletter.